What's going on, everyone? We are back with another video, and for today we are doing the last G League related video. I've done two already. We did a video where we sent LeBron to the G League, and then we sent Karl-Anthony Towns to the G League, and I basically wanted to see how the G League will affect the player's development. And I mean, the first two videos, the development, at least in year one, was substantially better in the G League. Year two was still obviously better in the G League. But I mean, a guy like LeBron, he ended up developing, 2 years later into a 99 overall. It took 2 years in the G League. I think it took 4 years in the NBA. For Karl-Anthony Towns, I kind of forget. I think it took 3 or 4 years in the G League, and then after year 5 in the NBA, he was only like a 97 overall. I'm saying only 97 overall. But at the end of the day, they kind of reached the same point, the same max. But LeBron is obviously a guy whose potential is going to be is already 97, 98, 99. Karl-Anthony Towns' potential is obviously really high too. So what we're going to do in this video is test it out with a player whose potential isn't as high, kind of just, a role player kind of guy gonna come off the bench kind of player. And so the player that we're doing is Al-Farouq Aminu. Yes, I just looked at a random draft class. I think 2010 he was drafted in, and I just scrolled down until I saw, like a player like him. All right, so apparently a rookie Al-Farouq Aminu was what this Magic team was missing, because they go 51-31. No awards, probably. I don't really care about the awards. We were the 4th seed already. Let's look at the stats real fast. Player stats, see what Aminu did. Doesn't look like he really did anything. 9 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2 assists. Not terrible. Doesn't look like he really developed. Looks like he developed maybe 1 overall. Shooting percentages, 3-point percentage isn't that bad overall. It's kind of bad, but I mean, as you can see, it's not too far off. It's definitely a little bit lower than what he is in real life, but definitely not too far off. We got Toronto in the first round, and we get swept, so we can just simulate through the rest of this stuff. The playoffs obviously doesn't really matter in these videos, since we're kind of just looking at the development. So we do wait until we go to the what am I gonna say? The player progression. That's all we really care about. He only developed 1 overall. He is now a 76, and he only did +1. So this is actually really good, because this is kind of what I assumed in the NBA. He wasn't really going to develop at all. But in the G League, that's what's going to be really interesting. So that's why I wanted to do the NBA version first. Honestly, if he doesn't really develop at all, I might only go 3 years with this NBA thing, with the NBA version, just because, if he's not developing at all, it doesn't really matter. What I do want to do is I'll help him out a little bit and make Aminu our first scoring option, just so he gets all the attempts to get better. Just any possibility to get Aminu better, we're gonna do it. All right, so we're at the end of the season, and the team was a lot worse. I mean, I assume they were going to be, since Al-Farouq Aminu is the first option on the team. We still make the 7th seed, though. Let's go over the player stats, and this is actually pretty good. He ended with 19, 7, and 2. Definitely what we wanted. And actually, shooting percentages are the same. I mean, 3-point percentage definitely got better, but overall, shooting's about the same. Boston in the first round. Let's simulate through this. And we actually make it to the second round. Is Aminu going off? Oh my god, Aminu's carrying the team! Oh, we got eliminated in 7 in the conference finals. I actually want to look at playoff stats real fast. And Aminu, 18, 5.5, and 1. Okay. Shooting, field goal percentage got a little bit better. Oh, actually, he shot really well. Here we go. Player progression. Aminu is still only a 77, so he's not getting that boost in the offseason that other players were getting. If you remember LeBron, Cat, we looked at his overall at the end of the season, and we looked at his overall at player progression, it was usually different by 1 or 2 overalls. And I'm not seeing that with Aminu. So wondering what that's all about. But at the end of the day, he's progressing. Not nicely, but he's progressing. All right, team finished a little bit better at 48 and 34. Still no awards. I mainly looked for Aminu as like most improved player. We're back to a 3rd seed. So that's pretty crazy. Season stats. Cole Anthony led us now, but Aminu, almost 18 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Very similar numbers. A little bit worse. Actually, shooting percentage wise was a lot worse. So that's really bad because if he had similar numbers to last year shooting percentage wise, he probably could have had about 20 points a game. Let's simulate the first round of the playoffs, and they get eliminated in 7. Aminu actually did not progress at all. I mean, he got better, but he capped at a 77. He was a 78 when we looked at him, I believe. I'm pretty sure he was a 78 when we looked at him in the season, and then he went back down to a 77. So I'm definitely curious. I do want to simulate one more season now, at least, just to see if he's going to develop at all, or if he did reach him, like his max. All right, so this was definitely the worst season. 37-45. Doubt we made the playoffs. Yeah, doesn't look like we made the playoffs. I do want to see if we were close though, or at least how close. And we were 7 games out. So yeah, we weren't exactly close. Vucevic was our leading scorer. Aminu drops down to 16.5. And again, look at, he's a 78 overall, which I believe I saw last year. But then he dropped. But rebounds 7, assists 1.5. Overall, this is his worst season since his rookie year. Yeah, just shooting percentage gets worse and worse, actually. So that's actually really surprising. Maybe that one season was just a fluke. I don't know. But let's see if he does. If he doesn't, if his overall doesn't get better at all, then that was definitely last season. But if it does improve even one, we are going to simulate that that 5th season just to see what's up. Aminu, he does go up to a 78 overall, so that is a +1. Would it actually improved? His badges are still at 1, so that's going to be interesting. I didn't pay attention to Cat's and LeBron's badges before, but I'm definitely going to pay attention to his badges. I probably should have had someone mentor him. Now that I think about it, I could have had like an Aaron Gordon mentor him. He's 6 years older. That probably would have been better to do. At least he'd have badges. Alright, so it looks like we might be back in the playoffs at 43 and 39. That actually wouldn't have made the playoffs last year. Still no most improved players, so that kind of sucks. Did we make the playoffs? We made it as an 8th seed, so that's fantastic. Season stats, Aminu up to 19, 7, and 1. Shooting percentage went way up. His 3-point percentage is still kind of low. It's kind of weird how he had that drop off. He shot 33%, 35%, and then it just kind of really dropped off. But this is easily his best shooting percentage overall wise. So that's fantastic. Most points per game, second most rebounds. Assists were way down, but we were playing, through him now. I do want to see how many shots he took. Wait. Bro, he only played 1 game? What? Yo, it auto-changed it, bro. It took him completely out of the lineup. Oh, that's so annoying. I don't know why it did that. I don't know why it did that. That's so frustrating. So he definitely didn't develop at all. So this year is a wash at this point. Alright, we're back with the team. As you can see, Aminu is back to 19 years old. We're going to assign him to the G League. And there's really nothing else to talk about now. We're just going to simulate the first season and see what he looks like at the end of the season. Alright, so the team itself went 47 and 35, but again, that doesn't matter at all. None of this stuff matters anymore. Stats don't matter. I mean, it's really just now we're simming till we get to player progression. It's the only thing we care about now. Player progression. Al-Farouq Aminu only jumped up 3, so very interesting. Again, reached his potential very fast. That's +3 overall. Reach his potential. I mean, Nothing crazy at all, really. So I feel like that's surprising that he only upped 3 overall, but we are going to send him there again. I don't really care about what he thinks. He's getting sent every year, and oh my gosh, that's gonna be irritating. You know what? I'm gonna deal with that now. Want to make sure he's still, yeah, he is in the G League. All right, so let's simulate to the end of the season. All right, we're here at the end of the season. Again, none of this matters. I was looking at the Magic, made the exceed, but we're not the Magic anymore, so they don't matter. Let's get all the way to player progression. I really hope we still up like 3 overall-ish, 4 overall. That'd be nice. I don't expect to, but we are sending him to potential camp, so you never know. He actually did up 4 overall, so that's actually fantastic. He's now an 82. So that's fantastic. So if he stays, so for example, what I'm getting at right now from doing this, if he were to stay in the NBA, he probably was gonna cap out at like an 80 overall, because he was what, 23, 24 years old. And if he played the entire season, he only would have been like a 79 overall. At most, he would have been like an 81, 82 overall. That's at most. So he's already basically reached what he would have if he was in the NBA, in like the NBA simulation. If we were to go like, 10 years or something. So that's actually really interesting. His mid-range everything just got a little bit better. All right, we're here at the end of the season. 20-62. The team's pretty trash right now. Not gonna cap. But again, that doesn't matter, because Alfred Camino's still in the G League, and he's going to be in the G League for 2 more seasons. Oh my god, 86 overall, another +4 boost. So I think the whole potential camp is definitely really helping too, as he had only +3 overall. So actually, I might do a video on that too, where I do like something like this with Aminu, where I send him to the G League. Don't use training camps versus using training camps, and see how that affects his overall rating. But this is all really interesting. All right, team ended up going 48-34, which is a huge jump. They're all the way up to the 60s, so maybe the Pistons are good now. We're still gonna just simulate them super fast. Wow, they got eliminated in the second round. That's disappointing. So Aminu is a 90 overall. He keeps going up 4 overalls, which is crazy. So that's the end of the G League simulation part. So he's at 88 overall, but he has that. So I think he has that plus whatever in the off season now, because it says he's an 88 overall, but there it says he's a 90 overall. So I think it has that, extra stuff about what's going on. But guess what? You are now the star player of this team, playing 33 minutes a game. It seems actually really good now. Yo, they have Kuzma. I should have done this with Kuzma, honestly. That would have been really interesting. But I think this was actually super interesting. He's actually a 91 overall. So cap the 90. It's a 91 now. So an extra +1. That's just so interesting to me. So if you send a player to the G League, he's gonna be better, or he's gonna go past his potential, basically. Anybody you send to the G League is basically gonna be a 90 overall at some point. That's just me rambling at this point. I do want to see what happens here with the coach game plan. We are gonna make him the first scoring option. Aminu, playthrough star, shoot at will. That's what I want. I want to see what those stats are looking like. All right, so the team went crazy with Aminu. Didn't make an All-NBA. Oh, he made the All-NBA second team. Okay, that's actually lit. Did he make a defensive team? And he made the all-defensive second team. So he's basically a superstar at this point, I feel like. 91 overall. So it doesn't look like he developed it all. Here. Oh, the badges is what I want to see. So he actually doesn't have that many badges still. I mean, he has a ton. I mean, he only had 1 before, and he's defensively, he has, a lot of badges. Playmaking, finishing, no shooting badges, which is surprising because he is a good 3-point shooter. Not a great mid-range shooter, but 3-point wise, he's really solid. But defense is obviously amazing. Career stats, I mean, 23.5, 12. Playmaking is still trash, but that is what it is. Field goal percentages are a little bit lower than I thought, but I think that's just to do with the fact that he doesn't have, shooting badges. So I think just automatically it's going to be lower. Again, with the mid-range being trash. But free throw percentage is good. I mean, his field goal percentages are way better than, you know, what they are in real life. So that's cool. Better numbers than he was ever putting up in the other simulation. So that's really cool. And let's just see if they make, or if they win the finals at this point. They win 4-0. So maybe this round they win 4-0. So maybe this round, and they lose in 6. Let's look at playoff stats though. See how Aminu did in the playoffs. I mean, basically the same thing. Field goal percentages, 3-point percentages. I mean, basically the same. He played basically the exact same as he did. So, there you guys go. That was the final video of experimenting with the G League, seeing what it's all about, seeing how OP it is. Because my initial question was really, does it just make you get to your potential faster? Or is it going to develop you so you reach a much higher potential? And obviously, that's what happened here. I mean, Alfariq, yeah. Aminu, his potential is not a 91. Like, it was never, you know, to be a 91 overall, be one of the best players in the league. It just isn't. At least, like the 19-year-old version of him, you know, the player DNA, whatever you want to call it. Was not to be this good of a player, but sending him to the G League, you know, sending him to those training camps, kind of really makes it OP completely. Because if we did do one more season in the G League, 2 more seasons in the G League, he'd probably reach 95, 96 overall, which is absolutely crazy to me. But yeah, those are basically my main takeaways. Nothing, you know, really with LeBron or Cat. I mean, it was basically just faster development. I mean, those guys are guys whose potentials are really high anyway, so nothing really interesting there. But with this, it was definitely interesting. In this, in the G League, he reached a 91 overall. In the NBA, he was only a 78 overall. Possibly could have reached a 79 overall in that 5th year. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. I'm going to be thinking about more of these kind of videos. Again, I talked about, you know, the potential camps. How much do those affect it? I feel like that definitely could have affected this. Sending him to those potential camps in the G League with the G League. So maybe I'll do just G League versus G League and potential camps and see what's going on. I'll probably still do it with Aminu because I think Aminu is a great player to do this on. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.